What's up guys, Rex here. So I have one more week in my first semester in medical school. So as I do every week, we're going to share something cool that I learned in a week of medical school. And so this past week we did a bunch of neuroanatomy. And so we covered all kinds of stuff with the brain. We really emphasized the cranial nerves. And we also had dissections pretty much every day of the week. So that was an awesome day for me getting to work with my donor body and learn real hands-on anatomy. So this video, I'm going to cover my favorite cranial nerve. And now usually I feel like your favorite is something because it does a lot. Actually, my favorite cranial nerve is the trochlear nerve, which is cranial nerve 4, because it does like the least. It innervates exactly one muscle and one muscle only. And so this is super interesting to me because it's like evolutionarily, why did we think we needed a trochlear nerve? I would love to know sort of like comparative anatomy of different animals of how the trochlear nerve developed. So the trochlear nerve, it goes and innervates with efferent innervation, and it's only motor innervation to the superior oblique muscle. I'm sort of biased that I love muscles, I want to go into ortho, so maybe the real reason the cranial nerve 4 is my favorite nerve is because it has the coolest muscle. So the superior oblique muscle, it has a part called the trochlea. And so trochlea is Latin for pulley, and that's literally what this is. I'll throw up a picture here. And so this muscle, it has a path where it goes around the medial side of the eyeball and it wraps through this connective tissue structure called the trochlea, and it then starts going backwards and connects on the top of the eye. And so it literally works like a pulley. So when the muscle contracts, it is able to actually pull sort of in like a forward diagonal direction on the eyeball. And so the main function is it does sort of internal rotation, which is cool to me to think about that. I don't think about my eyes rotating in their sockets very much, but this just helps with stabilization. If I want to move my head side to side, there's probably some image processing that our brain is doing to make sure things stay level, but also our eyes are actually rotating in their socket to help with that. So the superior oblique is what is rotating inward, but also how it's positioned on the eye, where it's sort of coming around here, rotating around this trochlea and going back onto the top. It not only is rotating in, but it's sort of pulling downward. So diagnostically, you often might ask your patient if they're having double vision when they're going downstairs and looking down at their feet, if you're trying to determine if they have some sort of injury to cranial nerve 4 and their trochlear nerve, because if you're looking down and one isn't working as well as the other, or it's not working in general, you might have some double vision from having your eye not totally steady while you're trying to walk downstairs. So that's like the first half of why the trochlear nerve is super interesting. But additionally, it's super interesting on the brainstem level of where it is the only cranial nerve that emerges from the dorsal aspect of the brainstem. All of your other cranial nerves, so if you think of the brain, something like this, inside the skull, all of the nerves just come out nicely on this ventral surface of the brain. The cranial nerve actually pops out of the dorsal side and wraps around. So it sort of is got a weird place as far as that is. Additionally, the weirdness continues that the nuclei that have the cell bodies for cranial nerve 4 is the only place in the human body where the actual cell bodies themselves are on the contralateral side of where the innervation of the nerve is going. So you have a brain like this, you actually have the nucleus on this side, and it will wrap around and emit the axon around the other side and then go to if it starts the nucleus on the left, then it goes to the right eyeball, and if you have it on the right, it wraps around the back, comes out the front, and goes to the left eyeball to innervate the superior oblique muscles on either side. So super unique on where the nuclei are with respect to the side of the body, super unique with how the axons of the nerve are coming out the dorsal aspect compared to all other 11 cranial nerves. And lastly, it's super unique because it just goes to one muscle that is a really cool muscle in my opinion, but not like a super important muscle in the like grand scheme of things compared to like having something that makes you breathe. So like diaphragm definitely gets more important than the superior oblique muscle, as far as like maybe it would have made sense if you had a cranial nerve that only went to something like that. But it's very interesting evolutionarily, I guess, that we have this nerve. It doesn't really do much. I'm not gonna say it's unimportant, but it does it in a unique way, unique path, unique anatomy, super cool and interesting to learn about. So that's my highlight from this week in medical school, and I haven't decided this might be my last sort of reflection Sunday of things I learned for the semester, since I'll be traveling next weekend to see family. We'll be super safe, isolated, COVID, all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, going to see family, so I might just do a reflection video, might not have a video next Sunday, who knows. But if you want to make sure you catch my next upload, whenever that may be, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I'd love to hear about them down below. I'll read and respond to every single comment. As always, like the video if you like the video, dislike the video if you dislike the video. And until next time, don't be ordinary, go be great.